Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for everyone for coming to attend tonight. We'll start off with our roll call.
Mr. Willoughby?
Yes.
Mr. McGuire?
Present.
Mr. Coldiron?
Yes.
Mr. Runnells?
Next thing we'll have an introduction of Lindsay Wendell, our new office manager. She's been working with Dave all this week, or much?
Yep, started Monday.
She hasn't run out the door yet, so we're taking it as a positive.
Yeah.
And she'll be taking over at the end of the year. So.
Yep, I look forward to it.
And got a little thing for Dave here. I'm sorry. Got a little thing for you here.
Oh, okay.
Your retirement. The township would like to give you a little gift for your retirement and say thank you very much for your service with the township and also with the fire department.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
All right, thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. Thank you, Dave.
Before public comments section, I'm going to make a couple comments about some of our efforts with the fire department. It's something we take very serious. It's one of the things the township is responsible for is our fire department for township. My efforts with this started probably about 2018 when we did fire department did a community survey. We went around to different stations to see the issues, the problems they were having with all the facilities in their current state. There's problems with the restrooms, there's a problem with the hose drying, there's a problem with roofs, septic systems, the rooms for the actual vehicles. It's all, and each station has individual problems that the other ones can't address. So we said, how can we address this? How can we go forward and get something that would meet the needs of the fire department, but also our community? The study we performed, they looked at all the stations, they looked at different issues, property, and all the other things that go into it. What they found was our 2 fire stations could not be expanded in their current state because of just geographically where they're at, and also if you tried to do it, there's limitations in the utilities and such. The only building that could be expanded was the life station, life squad. Even though it could be expanded, it still would not meet what we needed, and the cost would be the same as what they had for a new fire station. And the one thing that's on everybody's mind about this is taxes. We just went through a historical tax increase. My house, myself, the evaluation went up 51%. My taxes since 2020 to now have went up 50%. So it's very much our minds that we have to be responsible for the community's funds that we have. And the township did not receive a big increase from this. The general fund received a little bit, and also the road fund. That's because we're in the first 10 mills. And our fire levies did not receive anything. And that's the money really that's allocated for our efforts with the fire department. So what we did is we went to work. We're trying to find sources of funding that won't affect our residents. We received $1.75 million grants from the state in our efforts. And we're also, tonight, we're going to look at design firms. And the 2 things I looked at when we did our design firms was one, do they have designs that meet requirements of the fire department? The second was, are their designs cost efficient that we can afford? Because we know the taxes go right to the residents, and I'm not going to be for any kind of increase of the actual taxes. Now we're probably at the extent that the levy we got, but not increase. But that's what I wanted to say before public comments. Starting our public comments, Teresa with Real Marketing. Do you have anything?
Sure, yeah. Okay. Well, I had submitted the proposal. I'm not sure if you guys had an opportunity to read the proposal for just the transition to the new office manager, and just helping out more with the newsletter. And just as another side note, there was a little bit of talk about potentially moving to a completely digital newsletter, which would be really awesome, and I'd be glad to help with that. With the same proposal, basically, we would still need all the same information. We'd still need the articles, still need images. I'm not really sure about ads. I don't know if there'd be a spot for ads in a digital newsletter, but if you guys want those in there, we could incorporate those in. And it would also be on the website. All of the articles would be added to the website. People would click through from the newsletter. The main issue with making that kind of switch would just be getting all of the email addresses we would need to be able to get everybody that newsletter. So we'd have to figure out a plan for how we would want to collect all of those email addresses. So I think that's all I have. So.
Right.
Oh, I did want to mention too that I did create a new calendar for the start of the spring newsletter. So the articles for the newsletter, we would want those in about mid-February, about February 10th. Any of the articles that are needed for the newsletter, we want to start collecting those about February 10th to be able to get the newsletter in the mail by March 20th.
But, we need to get a hold of the school to see.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right. Our next item is from Jason.
Arididon.
Arididon?
Is it okay to approach?
Excuse me?
Is it okay to approach?
Sure. All right.
Hello, my name is Jason Arididon. I am with Globe Life Liberty National Division. We've been servicing Americans since 1900. I'm going to talk to you today about our Worksite Advantage program. So, we have local offices nationwide. We actually have more policyholders than any other life insurance company in the country. We have top financial strength ratings from AM Best. We're an A+ member of the Better Business Bureau, and we've been named awards top 50 for the last 26 years consecutive. So, our home office is based in McKinney, Texas, which is just outside of Dallas, so it kind of explains this page that we are the official life insurance of the Texas Rangers and the Dallas Cowboys. We also just became the official life insurance for the Los Angeles Lakers, and we're also proud partners of FC Dallas. Now, this page doesn't, or actually means that we are trusted and they believe in us, these major companies and corporations. Okay? So basically what we do is at no cost to the township, we provide valuable benefit, or help attract and retain employees by providing them valuable benefits. We help those employees protect those that they care about the most, which I believe we'd all agree is their families, right? And we also help both the employers and the employees save valuable tax dollars. So is everybody aware what Section 125 is? No, you are aware?
Spending account.
Yeah. So Section 125 is how we do that. So most of our policies are done pre-tax. So the more policies that the employees would pick up, the more the township would actually save in payroll taxes. Okay. So basically, how we're different than any other voluntary benefit company is we offer a unique life benefit. We also work on a needs-based approach, which just means I simply sit down with each one of your employees for just a few minutes and then find out what gaps they have and just try to fill those gaps. Okay. We also have two introductory offers that I'd like to talk to you about right now. And they're right there on that page. I've given everybody a pamphlet here to kind of go along with me alongside, and I've starred the topics that I'm going to discuss here. So. Accidental injury is the third leading cause of death in the U.S. So because of that, we're going to provide each one of your employees a $3,000 accidental death policy. If they're married, their spouse is going to get a $3,000 policy as well. And if they have any kids at home that are dependents, they're going to get a $1,000 policy on that. They're also going to get a no-cost discount card, which provides them or gives them access to thousands of local providers with discounts anywhere from 10 to 85% on vision, hearing, prescription drugs, and chiropractic care. So when I sit down with all the employees and sign them up with these two products, I'm going to let them know that the trustees are sponsoring this, so you guys get all the credit, and none of that goes to me. Okay.
So that needs-based approach that I mentioned earlier, I think we most agree that most employees want to get their benefits from their employer, right? There's two reasons why. First of all, it's going to give them a better savings because they're involved in a group. The second one is it's actually going to give them better options, something that they can't actually go out and pick up from the local insurance agent down the road. So can I ask you all a question? Do you think that your employees have enough life insurance to pay for their final expenses? Don't know.
I have no idea.
Okay, all right. What about income replacement or mortgage protection?
I don't think that's
I don't,
included.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think it's included either.
Okay, all right. So that's where our goal here is, because we just want to be able to help your employees face these hard times. Okay, so let me show you how we're going to do that. So that unique life benefit that I mentioned earlier, I think you guys all aware of the difference between a term policy and a whole life policy? Okay, so what we've done at Globe Life is we've created a hybrid of those two. So we're taking the best of both worlds. It is it's a term insurance that has the longevity till age 100. They also have an option to have that paid off by age 65. So if when they retire, they don't have to worry about that premium anymore. It's all paid up. The best part about this policy is it's 100% portable. So if they do retire, they can actually take this policy with them when they retire, and it's theirs for life. All the money that they put into it stays with them, and when that happens, the premiums are locked in and the face amount's locked in, so everything will stay the same. It's all the first $50,000 of this policy is 100% done pre-tax. So that's back to that section 125. And to show you an example of what that looks like, this is a 35-year-old male tobacco user getting $30,000 coverage. The reason I'm using tobacco users because we don't discriminate. The only thing we actually look at is their age. Okay, so a snapshot of this is in order for him to get a policy that lasts till age 100, he's going to have to go get a whole life policy. And because it's a whole life policy, he's going to have to go out on his own to get it. So he's going to spend about $19.24 a week on that policy. When you bring us on board, you're going to allow that same employee to get the same coverage, $30,000 till age 100, at $9.99. At $9.99, he's actually going to have it paid off at age 65. So because it's under that $50,000 threshold, he's going to save about $2 a week in taxes. So he's going to have a net cost of $7.99 per week on that policy. He's going to save just under $600 a year because you brought us on board. That's a pretty good chunk of change, right? Okay. So we also not only offer our life insurance, we also want to help supplement the health crisis, right? So the number one cause of personal bankruptcy in the U.S. is medical debt. So, and according to the American Cancer Society, 1 in 3 people will suffer from cancer. So, with that being said, it's if they were to suffer from cancer, it's going to be during their working years, right? So our goal here is to help them keep the lights on, keep food on the plate, and keep gas in their car. So this is our cancer endurance policy. It's going to pay out to the employees if they're diagnosed with cancer, $3,500. It's going to help pay towards every treatment, whether it's chemo or radiation. It's going to help pay for any hospital stays, and it's going to help reimburse any transportation to and from any facility they choose to receive their treatments at. The best thing about this policy is there's no lifetime maximums. So if they were to be diagnosed with cancer, they fight it, they beat it, goes into remission. A few years later, it comes back. This policy picks right back up where it left off, and it continues to fight. It fights alongside of them. Okay. So earlier I mentioned the mortgage protection and income replacement. So heart disease is the #1 killer worldwide, and stroke ranks second. So, and even if neither one of those lead to death, it can cause a diminished way of living from that point on. So I think we all agree that stroke, heart attack, kidney failure, and organ transplant are all major medical crises, right? So this is our critical illness policy. It's a cash lump sum policy. The cash lump sum goes directly into their account. It doesn't go to a doctor, a hospital, or a billing agency. It goes directly to the employee. They can pick this policy up anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000. So again, that's going to help them with their mortgage protection. It's going to help replace some income if they're stuck at home. Okay, there's actually 2 different policies here. There's one for the critical illness, and there's also one for cancer. 2 separate policies, 2 separate options. And the 2 cancer policies that I've discussed, they can piggyback off each other. So if they pick the $10,000 cancer policy, if they're diagnosed, they're going to get a total of $13,500. Okay. So we all know what's right around the corner, right? Ice is coming, and the roads are going to get slick. And with the rising cost of copays and deductibles, we have our accident protector max. So nobody's has in their budget, or most people don't have in their budget, a trip to the emergency room. So this policy here provides coverage for the entire family, 24 hours a day, on and off the clock. It also pays cash directly to the employee. It doesn't go to that doctor, hospital, or billing agency. There's a snapshot of some things that it does happen, or it does cover. Like an emergency treatment it pays up to $500 per use. So there's also a quick claims portal on this, which allows the employee to file the claim from their house, and 24 to 72 hours after that claim has been filed, that money is deposited in their account. So the best part about this policy is the only phone number I would ever give your employees is my own personal phone number. I'm not going to give them an 800 number. They're going to have the personal touch with this policy. So if they do need help filing that claim, they're going to contact me. I walk them through it. Worst case scenario, I meet them whatever area they're in. I'll meet them there, pick up the paperwork, and file that claim for them. So how it basically all works is I am going to meet with each one of your employees for just a few minutes. I'm going to do that I'm going to provide them those 2 free benefits that, again, you guys are sponsoring for them. I'm going to complete that needs analysis, and then I'm going to try to protect them to fill those needs. So the only thing that we ask for in return is to allow each and every employee who wants to protect their family the availability to do so through payroll deduction. So can I ask when your next meeting is?
We meet every 3rd Wednesday.
3rd Wednesday of the month, so the 3rd Wednesday in January.
Yep.
Okay. So I'd love to come back and talk to you and see what you guys think about these. I've given you all a pamphlet along with my card. My phone number is the 765 number. The 317 is my office, and I'm rarely there. So, all right. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
You all have a great holiday.
You too.
Merry Christmas.
Any other public comments? Please state your name and address.
Greg Hauser, 6328 Motor. This grant money, this 1.75 million, what's the status of it
It's in our bank account.
in your bank account?
Yes.
And it's whole. Well, what I mean is it's not being spent. Or
Not yet. but-
okay. See, I'm hearing the word expand and not big enough. This, when you said the 2 stations aren't big enough that we can't expand,
Sure.
why expand? This township hasn't expanded any. 500 more people than it had 40 years ago. That's nothing. Why the expansion? Everybody wants to expand. Everybody wants to live in Liberty Township or Westchester. This is Madison, a rural, home tax-based community. That's it. What's the expansion?
I think you attended that.
I was right there with you.
You saw the issues they have, right?
Yeah, and then, I don't know what we're looking for. It seems like everybody that heads an agency in this township looks down there at Liberty Township and looks at Westchester, and they get big Google eyes and say, oh, we need this and we need that. We can't afford this and we can't afford that.
I can tell you that's not true, because when we look at their stations and looked at
I was right there when we were in those stations.
when we had the different architectural firms come through here, they flashed a lot of these big pricey fancy fire stations
What
is.
I'm saying
We're not
is
looking
that
for that.
1.75,
Yes.
how much would it really cost to do what's needed to those two stations? Because geographically, if you put one station up here, the people on the north end and the south end of this township, they're in trouble. They aren't gonna get covered.
Are they in trouble with the life service right now?
Not like they're looking at now, no.
They are or they are not?
They're, the foreseeable trouble, if you build one station up here, and if you gotta cross those tracks on Trent Franklin Road to get to Route 4, you got a problem. I've said for those trains too many times. And the same going down the south end of Trenton. That mess Trenton's created with that roundabout next to the train tracks, they've got their own problems.
That was the county.
What?
That was the county that did that. It wasn't.
Well, that roundabout Wilkins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all he's done. He hasn't done anything but put roundabouts in. That's all the man's done. You know, I'm just trying to I'm looking out for the homeowners, and you said no new taxes. I don't believe that for 1 minute.
Well,
Not for one second.
What information do you have to support that?
I'm hearing they want a full-time staff, around-the-clock staff in this firehouse. Who's paying them?
We have around-the-clock staff right now,
In the firehouses?
not in the firehouse.
That's what I'm talking about. We have it at the Life Club, but not the firehouses.
We're looking at planning on that. Well, we got 3 people right now. What we're planning on is trying to go to 4, so that 2 people would have the fire department certification, so they could respond quicker to all the
We
calls.
can't afford that. That's what I'm getting to, is nuts and bolts. I did this for years at AK, planning monies. And if you can't project it ain't gonna cost more, it will. A lot more.
We've already got accounted for in our budget.
Budgets, yeah, right.
Well, I mean,
The
why-
government people and budgets have a way of lying to you.
well, ours is public, and it's been out here for everybody to see.
You know, we're being taxed to death by that clown up in Columbus.
Well, I won't disagree with that one.
We can't stand any more taxes, nobody. That's my point. And sometimes you make do with what you have. You may not, you may want to drive a Cadillac, but you're gonna have to drive a Chevy, because that's what you can afford.
And that's what we're looking for in this fire department. We're not looking for a Cadillac.
Well, geographically, it won't work up here. I mean, you're gonna get into problems. Trenton and its trains, the trains up there on Trenton Franklin, you can't do anything about that. Trains got to go past to do anything they want.
Well, Trenton station's on this side of the tracks too.
But they don't cover the township all the way down there, that Williamsdale or whatever that is.
But it'll still be blocking theirs. They have property on the other side of the train tracks just like we do.
Yeah, you know, I've watched this town, I've lived in this township for going on 50 years. And I've seen too many people want to get too big for their own self in this township, too often. And you give a few people too much authority, it always goes south, always. Put it up to a vote to the people if they want this plan.
Well, it will be.
Well, when will it be? You know, you're making these plans with the engineers, with the architects. You're kind of jumping the gun on that, aren't you?
Well, we won't really know what it is until we have a complete design.
How much you gonna pay for that?
We don't know yet.
Well, that's money thrown, that's just throwing it up in the air and watching the wind take it. No. No, this township had better realize what its tax base is. It's the homeowner.
Exactly.
And we're being squeezed to death. Every one of us. And this is no time to build a big palace up here on top of this hill.
I don't think anybody's interested in building a palace.
You got 2 stations located just exactly where they need to be. Use them. you know, that station down there in Miltonville, I went through it with you. I mean, it's 50 years old, 60 years old, but it still functions. That one up there by the trailer park, it's a little rough. But how many of your calls percentage-wise come out of that trailer park?
I don't know.
Fire
Sure, I have to
calls.
look. Fire calls?
Yeah, fire
They're
calls.
they're about even.
About even to what?
As far as the sections, there's more life squad calls up there than anything.
Well,
Which
I know
is
those trailers,
is
when
out
they
that-
start getting toasty up there, they go quick.
That's very true. And the response from our volunteers is probably 15 minutes or better. Where if we have a fire truck here that's sitting on there, they can probably get to it in 4.
Yeah, right. You're not gonna be paying people to sit here waiting for a call. This is a volunteer fire department, that's the way it's always been. All of a sudden,
Our
it's a
intent-
full-time fire
No,
department.
our intention is not to go full-time.
You just said you are.
No,
You're
we're not gonna go
backtracking.
full-time.
It's no.
We're not going full-time.
Well, what are those two people doing? They're manning.
We have 3 people on there right now.
Yeah.
We have 3 people, it's our staff.
Are you talking about the life squad or the fire
Yes.
department?
Well, we're.
Well, what are you
we're gonna
doing,
have-
the life squad or fire
We're
department?
trying to do both. What we're trying to do is we're gonna have to have both certifications so they can respond to a fire. The new fire truck we're getting has a automatic nozzle to where they can go, and when they are on scene, they can start putting water on the fire right then. They don't have to wait for somebody.
Yeah. I don't buy any of it,
Okay,
any of it.
all right, thank you. Anyone else? All right. Next item is to approve the minutes for the 2 meetings we had.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. McGuire?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Mr. Willoughby?
All right. Next is approve the bills for the month.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Coldiron?
Yes.
Mr. McGuire?
Yes.
Mr. Willoughby?
Yes. Next is the approve the road checks. That's both.
Yeah,
for-
we have 2 of them.
Yeah, for last month and this month.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Willoughby?
Yes.
Mr. McGuire?
Yes.
Mr. Coldiron?
Yes.
Next item is our report from the fiscal officer.
So this is as of the end of November, for December 1st. In our checking account, we have $4,519,947.48. In our HRA account, we have $5,225.79. In our Star Ohio investment, we invest $1.1 million. So the interest that we earned in November is $4,705.63. Our revenue to date is $5,759,060.35. Our expenditures to date is $2,368,603.04. Payments made in November total $140,777.95. And some of our major fund balances, the general fund has a balance of $507,541.90. The road and bridge fund has $191,101.35. In the road district fund, we have $299,285.64. And in the fire levy fund, we have $3,913,614.43, for a grand total of $5,619,591.93.
Any questions or comments?
Make a motion to accept fiscal officer's report as presented. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. McGuire?
Yes.
Mr. Coldiron?
Yes.
Mr. Willoughby?
Yes. Next, report from our fire chief.
Hey, well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Chief.
Hey, everybody's got the report here. I decided to do a one-year report, November to November. I like to do that towards the end of the year, kind of show you what our fire and EMS do on a yearly basis. First page there, on the fire side, 329 calls for the year. 91 of them are fire calls, 128 are rescue and emergency calls, 47 are hazardous condition, 22 service calls and good intent, 18, 21 is false alarms, which is going to be the fire alarms. Next page breaks it down just a little bit. For the year, 44 building fires that we responded to in a 12-month period. Then it lays out the other type fire calls, the vehicle fires, the grass fires, the vegetation fires, details all that out. Motor vehicle accidents with injuries for the year, 88. What I found interesting was I really thought that the most accidents would be in the Northern District. The next page will show you that the most accidents are in the Southern District, which kind of takes me to believe Trenton Franklin Road, Howell Road, Elk Creek, and maybe Woodsdale, we have a lot of crash calls on those roads. Power line down, 30 calls for those for the year. That's going to be storm related when we have severe weather. Next page shows the zones and where these fire calls are. South zone, 3 structure fires, 33 motor vehicle accident with injuries. North zone, 5 structure fires and 29 crashes. Middle zone, 2 structure fire calls and 21 crash calls for us. We went to Middletown 5 times. Shows what kind of calls we went to Middletown for. Went to Trenton 10 times on various calls. We went to Wayne Township 13 times. St. Clair 6. Montgomery County 6. Preble County 4 times. And Warren County 16 times. And these were all mutual aid fire calls for that 12-month period. Last page there shows the EMS calls for a 12-month period. 1,010 total calls for service, 554 patient transported, 456 non. Mutual aid was provided 106 times in the 12-month period. Wayne Township 48 times, Trenton 36, G-Town 9, Middletown 7, Gems, Warren County 1, Camden, Summers Township, and Gratis total of 4 times, and Monroe 1 time. The calls by district for EMS for a 12-month period: North 452 calls, Middle 318, and South 134. Just changed it up a little bit for a yearly report to show you the numbers. Any questions on the stats?
Chief, I have a question.
Yes.
Would it be helpful if maybe we provided some additional information from previous years? Because I think what it would be helpful is probably to show how the number of calls have increased, like from 12 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and I think that would maybe alleviate some questions.
Yeah, we can get some numbers and stats together on that on previous years.
I think people need to see the increase in calls.
Just a couple other things. Training for January, February, and March. January is going to be CPR certification for the firefighters. February is going to be stop the bleed training for the firefighters, and March will be extrication. So a little future insight to our trainings for next year. The new engine has made it to Northern Kentucky. We took down some equipment, and we had to order some equipment to be placed on it, so it should be ready in probably 4 to 6 weeks. One of those pieces of equipment we took down was the battery operated rescue tools, the Jaws of Life, that we received a grant on. The total cost for the rescue tools was right around $50,000. We was responsible for 25% of that because we got a grant through BWC on that, which was a great thing. Just got notified the other day we got another grant. Put in for a grant for mobile radios for our trucks. This is called the Marks grant. Total cost for these radios are $67,000. We got a total grant amount of $47,000. So saved us some money there. We've had a great year involving grants. We've made over $500,000 this year just in grants. Our grant writer's done a great job. The bell tower has been removed. The company got up there, they tried to keep it in place, but it was all dry rotted and started falling apart. So they had to take apart one piece at a time, and it's been repaired. We should have no more leaks at the Post Town School that was built in 1850. At this time, we're going to do promotions. And we got some personnel here that have done some great things, and we want to acknowledge them and show. That's a good idea. Captain, Lieutenant, if you go up front with Mr. Green, Mr. Carroll, and Mr. Moore. Chief Runnells, will you assist us, please? First one we're going to do is we're going to do Matt Moore. Matt Moore is a firefighter at Station 151. He's been on for 10 years now. Everybody's been on 10 years or more. We give him an official pinning. And right now, Chief Runnells will pin Matt Moore with his 10-year pin. Matt Moore's been an active firefighter and has been a valuable asset to the department. Next, Lieutenant Chappelle will pin Medic Carroll. Medic Carroll's been on for several years. Medic Carroll is very knowledgeable in the field of EMS. Medic Carroll shows up after hours on EMS calls, and Medic Carroll does a great job for Madison Fire and EMS. And he's getting pinned as a training officer for that station at 153. Next, Captain Goodwin will pin Matt Green Sr. as Fire Lieutenant at Station 153. Matt Green Sr. has been with us for approximately 5 years. Matt Green Sr. is a full-time Fire Lieutenant at Union Township, Claremont County. Matt Green Sr. holds several certifications and is very knowledgeable in the field of fire and EMS, and we are lucky to have him. At this time, congratulations to all of our attendees. Josh, you need bigger hands?
He's fighting with it. Here we go.
Good job. That's all I have. I'd just like to make a couple comments as the fire chief. I don't know if everybody knows or not, but our squad service has been covering calls from the middle part of the township for over 40 years. So they're responding from the middle part, and no one's made any complaints about the EMS service responding to Post Town or responding to Woodsdale. The issue that we have on our fire department is volunteerism is going away. It's declining. And we need to change with the times, or we're going to be, and I'm not dinging them, we're going to be like Wayne Township, not having any volunteers. So we just need, the trustees are, have the foresight here to move forward. That's what we're trying to do. We got the grant money, and we need better facilities for our employees. That's all I got to say.
Thank you much. Next, our road superintendent.
Oh, there you go. It was going to be a long meeting, so I'm going to keep it short. The John Deere 6110, it got repaired by Kading last month. It ended up being just an injector pump. Thankfully, the seals go bad in them. The injector pump gets ruined and dumps fuel into the oil. So we caught it in time. If we'd have kept running it, it would have been a lot worse. So that's been repaired. The backhoe oil pan's been replaced. So that was a quick fix and back in service within a week. As far as pictures, Chris is on the left. He always gets mad at me because it seems like all the pictures I send in with the crew working, it's usually Chris. So I added Zach on the right this time. Roy will be next meeting. As far as year end, we had 9 culvert pipes were replaced. We had 3.43 miles of roadways paved. As far as funerals, we had 30, which Todd said he don't remember ever hitting that since the acquiring of Miltonville. We had 16 in Miltonville, 9 in Pleasant Hill, and 5 in Elk Creek for the year. So funerals are up, unfortunately. We did a lot of ditch cleanouts this year. We probably did approximately about 500 feet of ditch cleanouts. I think it's the most ditch cleaning I've did in my career. I don't know what happened, but there was a lot of issues. I attended the annual stormwater meeting at Butler County Engineer's Office Monday with some of the other townships and a couple of the cities throughout the county. Really no big changes other than we did have, through the county, they contracted with a third-party company that went around and inspected all the facilities, all the townships in the county facility, city of Trenton, and they come in, see, just inspect stormwater issues, see if, good housekeeping is the term they use, make sure there's good housekeeping measures in place. We did good, we passed. One of the issues we got is our oil drums. We don't have them in a dye containment, which I'd already planned on doing it the first year before this company even came. That's fortunately we passed. We did very well. A couple other townships not so well, but that company was at that meeting Monday to give the report, and they did give us a heads up. The EPA will be making their rounds. They don't know when, January, February. They don't go to every township facility. They might only pick 2 townships in the county, but they just gave us a heads up that, they might be coming by. And the main thing to look at is your salt storage. If there's any salt runoff going into the storm system, creeks or waterways close by, they look for all that. So, but here with the new salt barn and everything, we're set pretty good. That's all I got.
Are you gonna have to change very much to that containment, or you just got?
No. When I was at Wayne Township, actually, they approved it. We actually just went down to Roll King or Tractor Supply and got a water trough. The barrels fit perfect in that. That way, if they start leaking, they're contained in that trough. So it's fairly cheap. So we'll take care of that first of the year.
Thanks,
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Johnny.
Next, our old business, energy alliance agreement was signed by both parties. Rich Soros and Mr. Willoughby, contract is ready for us to sign. And you're gonna notarize that afterwards?
Yeah.
Okay. Because we already approved it, so we don't need to vote on it. New business.
Just real quick on that. I know I put a couple of things in front of you, some extra notes on aggregation. It means the definition of it, what it means, and also what the new company, Rich has brought us from Energy Alliance. They set up an email address that they could go to, and they can bring it up in the program, and it explains a lot more with them and about them and about the aggregation as well. Also, they can also contact the phone number. I made copies of each and put it out by the desk when residents want to come in and ask questions about it.
Do we have that link on our site?
Probably not. I just recently got this part in, but this part I sent out because back when Duke Energy representative helped me out, she helped me out, Miss Abigail, she helped me out, but I have not got this over to Kane.
Okay, yeah, if we could get that on there too. Our first item is the approve the pay increase proposal for the road and cemetery crews.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Coldiron?
Yes.
Mr. McGuire?
Yes.
Mr. Willoughby?
Yes. Our second item is approve the 2025 cemetery rules, rates, and regulations.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. McGuire?
Yes.
Mr. Coldiron?
Yes.
Mr. Willoughby?
Yes. Third item is approve the fiscal year 2025 budget.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Willoughby?
Yes.
Mr. McGuire?
Yes.
Mr. Coldiron?
Yes.
Next is approve final review and expenditures for 2024.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Coldiron?
Yes.
Mr. McGuire?
Yes.
Mr. Willoughby?
Yes. Next Next is approve the transfers and advances. Do we have very many of them?
Let's see, it was. All the other ones we approved. This one's basically just to put money in that put the fire department money into a capital fund for the fire station. And then to put the $150,000 that we received from Butler County for the park into the park fund. And then we had to do an advance for the lighting district.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. McGuire?
Yes.
Mr. Coldiron?
Yes.
Mr. Willoughby?
Yes. Next is ranking the design firms for the firehouse, entering into a contract with them. Did you guys have a chance to review that document I made up about that?
WDC group, number one.
Well, I'll just say, that was my second thing. Did you guys have any questions, or did you have any questions or comments?
Did not. No,
Okay.
I agree. But this is number one.
Yeah, we're supposed to rank the top three. Well, my top three were WDC, AP, and KZF.
I agree.
Yep. Yes.
Do you guys have anything different?
No.
So with approval, what we'll do is I'll contact WDC, send them that document, and ask for, not only, I asked for a design cost, but I also asked for a separate item as a contract administration cost. You have a motion on that?
Yep. So moved. Second.
You know that?
Yep.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Willoughby?
Yes.
Mr. McGuire?
Yes.
Mr. Coldiron?
Yes.
Our first discussion item is approve a 25-hour block time with Camera Security Now IT company. We have 28 hours remaining with Lindsay coming on all the update materials. It will take us down to approximately 15 to 20 hours. I spoke with Andy and he advises the quote was standing for a block to start in 2025. So the total will be $3,000.
That's pretty close to what it was before.
I think so.
Are we approving this?
Yeah.
Okay, so moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. McGuire?
Yes.
Mr. Coldiron?
Yes.
Mr. Willoughby?
Yes.
Question, Dave, is this two different companies?
No, it's
Just the
Just
one?
the camera
It's
security?
It's called camera security, but.
But he
it's
said the
not-
IT, right?
What the IT
Okay.
company's paying.
Our next item is the approve the fire and EMS policy and procedure. One question I had. Are you
Yeah,
gonna
so
say
with
something?
that said, after the meeting, I started going through it and I did a follow-up email with everybody showing exactly what was changed in it so you could go to each section or added from the previous policy, the 2019 policy.
One question I had on the pay rates we have in here, are these existing pay rates or these increases?
Existing.
Existing, all right.
The only difference is we added a firefighter rate because hopefully, with the permission from the trustees, at the first of the year when we go to 4 and we move that rescue vehicle there for fire coverage, if by chance we don't have a cross-trained member to fill that 4th spot, we can fill it with a 240 firefighter in that coverage area. So we had to establish a rate on there.
I don't have any questions. So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. McGuire?
Yes.
Mr. Coldiron?
Yes.
Mr. Willoughby?
Yes.
So I just need a signed copy by all 3 trustees, and then we place 1 hard copy at each station and the township building. And then we will issue a policy to each member of the department, and they sign off for it.
Put the main master copy in front of you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next item is allow Dave Reynolds to purchase one-time cemetery plot at township rates.
You just want one, Dave?
I'm sorry.
You just want one?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they usually come in pairs or 4 or something like that, but. So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. McGuire?
Yes.
Mr. Coldiron?
Yes.
Mr. Willoughby?
Yes. Next item is changing the title of road supervisor, superintendent and cemetery sexton to public works manager.
What is he, oh, Johnny, what was the reasoning behind this again?
It just seems more.
Is the title too big?
Yeah.
We got roads, we got cemeteries, we got the park.
Yeah.
And it just, instead of, road superintendent, cemetery sexton, park manager, if you wanna call that.
There's,
Public works manager just covered is, everything's under one umbrella.
And it can take anything else that we add to it, right?
well, I guess that was a question I had. Is this in the ORC that triggers anything, or is this?
No, it's just,
time?
Yeah,
it's
that's
just,
what I was
some
wondering.
places where one person's in charge of multiple departments, they use public works manager.
Or you could just have all those titles.
Have a name tag for each.
You have a hat, you just,
Yeah.
motion,
So move. Second.
roll call please.
Mr. Coldiron? Mr. Willoughby?
Yes.
Mr. McGuire?
Yes.
Our next item is executive session.
I want to thank Dave before we, thank you so much for the last few years that you've been with us. You've